Imagine you are the owner of an impregnable fortress. The walls are high, the guards are vigilant, and the gates are secured with heavy iron bars. You feel safe because you're expecting an enemy with a sword and armor. You're waiting for aggression that you can easily identify, but the enemy doesn't storm the walls. He knocks at the door, dressed in the rags of a weary traveler, asking only for a glass of water. You let him in because you are a good person, because your morality tells you to help the weak. And in that exact moment, your fortress has fallen. Not because of the enemy's strength, but because of your own kindness. Today, we are talking about the most dangerous type of manipulator, the social predator. These are people who don't break your boundaries by force. They make you open them voluntarily, using your conscience as a lockpick. We will dissect how your brain becomes an accomplice in your own destruction under the pressure of social norms. This is a deep dive into the dark psychology of control, where good manners are your cage and guilt is your chain. Listen closely. Your mind is a battlefield, and you need to know who is actually dictating the rules. Let's destroy the first myth. You believe that morality is your shield. Psychology says the opposite. For a predator, your morality is the handle they use to grip you. A predator has no conscience, but they are an expert in yours. They have studied your habits, your values, and your fears as carefully as an anatomist studies a body. They know you are afraid of appearing selfish, cold, or ungrateful. And those are the buttons they will press every single time they need something from you. The first insight, the reciprocity trap. A social predator always starts with a gift. It could be a small favor, a compliment, or a display of false vulnerability. Your brain is hardwired for reciprocal exchange. We feel an unbearable discomfort when we remain in debt. The predator gives you a penny so they can later demand your life. You feel obligated to them. You start justifying their toxic behavior because they helped me so much back then. Stop. That wasn't a debt. It was the predator's investment in your future paralysis of will. Your emotions are merely fuel for their strategy. The second truth, social opinion manipulation. Predators love a crowd. They know your mind fears social exile more than physical pain. They use marker phrases like, "What will people think?" Normal people don't act like that. Anyone in your place would help. This is social gaslighting. They convince you that your natural boundaries are a sign of your abnormality. Your good manners become the tools of your suppression. You stay silent when insulted because you are above that. You smile when it hurts because propriety must be maintained. Congratulations, you built the walls of your own prison, and the predator simply turned the key. The third insight, false vulnerability. A true predator rarely looks like an aggressor. Most often, they look like a victim. They tell you about their traumas, the injustice of the world, and how everyone has betrayed them. Your empathy is their favorite tool. Your brain mirrors their pain, and you want to save them. But while you are busy saving them, they are methodically stripping you of your emotional and material resources. This is the sympathy parasite. They feed on your desire to be needed and good. Fourth concept, moral blackmail. If you really loved me, you would do this. Sound familiar? That is a direct strike to your emotional center. They present you with a false choice. Either you betray yourself or you're a bad person. The predator uses your striving for an ideal self-image to control your behavior. Your confidence crumbles because you begin to doubt your own goodness. Your mind turns into a courtroom where the predator is both judge and prosecutor, and you are always guilty. Fifth secret, using etiquette against freedom. Etiquette was created to ease communication, but the predator turns it into a system of prohibitions. You aren't allowed to ask uncomfortable questions. You aren't allowed to say no without an explanation. You aren't allowed to leave when you're uncomfortable. You are afraid of being rude. The predator, however, fears nothing. They violate your boundaries with a polite smile. And if you object, they act as if you are the crazy one. Why are you overreacting? I was just joking. This is the devaluation of your emotions under the cover of social norms. Sixth level, induction of guilt. Guilt is the most effective method of control. A person in a state of guilt is ready to do anything to be forgiven. The predator makes you feel guilty just for breathing, for your success, for your happiness, for your money. While you're here enjoying yourself, I'm suffering so much. Your brain begins to link your well-being with their suffering. You start voluntarily giving up your resources to ease this phantom guilt. Seventh insight: destruction of the self through altruism. We are told that living for others is the ultimate good. The predator takes this idea to the point of absurdity. They convince you that your needs are selfishness, while their desires are the law. You lose contact with your own feelings. You no longer know what you want. You only know what you should do for them. Your thinking becomes fragmented. You live in a state of constant cognitive dissonance. Eighth level: the predator's cold empathy.
Do not confuse this with compassion. The predator understands your feelings, but they do not share them. They see your anger, your fear, and your joy as data in a spreadsheet. They use this data to construct the perfect manipulation. When they see you are on the verge of breaking, they change tactics, becoming perfect for a while. This is called intermittent reinforcement. Your brain gets hooked on these crumbs of kindness like a drug, and you stay in the trap. Ninth insight: the power of your no. Your salvation begins with the one word your morality forbade you to use. You must learn to be bad in the eyes of the predator. You must accept that for someone, you will be selfish, rude, and ungrateful. And that is the highest price you pay for your freedom. 10th secret: resetting the moral code. True morality should not destroy your life. If your values make you a slave, they aren't values, they are programs of submission. Your first duty is to your own integrity. A predator fears people who do not fear social disapproval. When you say, "Yes, I am selfish," if caring for myself is selfishness, you knock the weapon right out of their hands. 11th level: recognition through the body. Your mind can be deceived by a predator's words, but your body never lies. Do you feel drained after talking to them? Does your stomach tighten when this person enters the room? That is your intuition screaming about the presence of a predator. Listen to your biology, not the logic you were conditioned to follow. 12th insight: depriving the predator of a stage. A manipulator lives off your reactions. Your excuses, your tears, your anger, those are their victories. Become a gray rock. Be boring. Provide no emotional fuel. When a predator realizes your morality is no longer a lever, they simply leave to find another victim. Now you see the strings. You see how your upbringing and manners were used against you. It might hurt to realize how many people you allowed to parasitize your kindness. But this pain is the sign of your awakening. You are no longer a fortress with open gates. You are the master of your territory. You understand that kindness without boundaries isn't a virtue, it's self-destruction. Your communication will now be built on reciprocity, not exploitation. You have learned to distinguish true need from a social predator's performance. Your mind is clearing of imposed guilt. You can breathe freely. Remember, a predator is only strong as long as you believe in their rules. As soon as you create your own rules, they become powerless. Your confidence is now based on knowing the truth about human behavior. You are no longer afraid to be inconvenient. You are afraid of losing yourself, and that is the only fear worth having. Your attraction will change. You will start attracting strong, whole individuals because predators will feel your impermeability. Your life is not a field for someone else's experiments. It is your project. Your emotions are your navigation, not tools in someone else's hands. You have passed through the realization of how your morality was your cage, and now you are opening the door of that cage and stepping out. The world outside of manipulation is vast and full of opportunity. Do not look back at those trying to pull you back by appealing to your conscience. Your conscience is clear before yourself. That is enough. You are the architect of your reality. You are the leader of your inner world. Social predators will remain in the past like shadows that disappear in the light of awareness. Your attraction now is the attraction of a free person. Your communication is a dialogue of equals, not master and servant. Your mind is a fortress where the gates only open for those who have earned trust through action, not a beautiful story of pain. The secret is revealed. Your kindness is your greatest strength, but only if it is protected by a will of steel. No one uses your morality against you anymore, because now you know the truth. You see the predators in the crowd, and they see that you see them. This is your victory, your total and final liberation. Walk forward with your head held high. Your time has come. The psychology of power is now on your side. You are no longer the victim. You are the one who sees through the game. Your path is clear. Your strength is unshakable. You are the master of your mind, and the world will finally hear your true voice. Your cage is open. Fly.